Hey guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's 10 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. And I'm going to talk about the southern border. I'm going to talk about the large flood, whatever you want to call it, the large amount of minor underage children that are coming unaccompanied to the southern border. Some of my thoughts. I've been wanting to make this video for 4 or 5 days now. And honestly, I thought I had a mental block. I was having a hard time coming up with good talking points to make my point. And part of this, I went and visited my family Sunday. I sat down with a family member or two, and this connects to Beau of the Fifth Column. This connects to the video he made yesterday, because I had this very same conversation that he talks about in his video. I had it with my family member. My family member started telling me about how Joe Biden, his mental acuity is gone. He doesn't know what he's doing. Other people are running the government, and then they moved on to the southern border and how we're going to be overrun and there's going to be disease and we're going to turn into a third world country. And I swear I almost started to worry because my relatives started to get so upset. I started to worry that this person got themselves so twisted up, and I blame Fox News for this too. Because as I'm sitting there, it's like these talking points. And then I hear the same thing when I watched Beau's video yesterday. So it's the people that are arguing this, that Joe Biden isn't running the country and the whole stuff with the southern border, they're all getting the same talking points from the same place. And we all kind of got an idea where that is. Basically right now, it's Fox News, One America, and the other one there, Newsmax. So anyway, this was Sunday. I'm having that. I wasn't really arguing. I was listening to them talk. So then I saw Beau of the Fifth Column. I saw his video this morning, and I am grateful. He brought up the point of bad faith arguments, and this morning, as I was trying to, I was still having a hard time trying to make a good video about the southern border this morning. So I said I'd be doing one later because I was having a hard time focusing on my talking points. And after I watched Beau's video, I realized that's what I had fallen down that rabbit hole where I was constantly defending the goalposts moving backwards, and I was centering on their arguments. That what's gonna happen, this might happen, this could be happening, and that's where I got lost. And I even mentioned something about my past substance abuse and a worry I had. When I make mistakes and I change my mind, I leave those mistakes in. I make mistakes. I've told you guys that before. So after I watched Beau's video, I realized what I was doing to myself because I've been wanting to make this video about the southern border, that I had been focusing on these bad faith arguments about these children coming across. And, are they being tested, and where are they going, and who's taking care of them, and there's too many coming. And so I just stopped. And then I started to think rationally about the big picture. All right. What can these people bring to the table? Because this has happened over and over again throughout history with Asian, Chinese people, Irish people, Italian people, people from India. This has happened over and over and over again. Well, except with us Native Americans, but we had our own thing. Anyway, I started thinking about the big picture. So this is what I focused on too. I started thinking realistically. I read into a few of the interviews with the kids that they'd interviewed at the border. And a lot of them they had rushed to be reunited with their family members. One was a young boy, about 16, that was trying to be reunited with his mother in Los Angeles. And there's a lot of these stories. These people had been divided. One part of the family stuck in Mexico, and another part had made it into the U.S. to work and find a better life. And they've been divided. And now there's a big rush to reunite these families. So realistically, I started thinking that this is a short period thing. I do not believe this is going to go on or grow, exponentially or anything like that. I think more than likely it's going to fall back. after this initial rush, I believe it'll go down considerably. And you'll probably see more the realistic daily people showing up at the border to claim asylum. I think this is just the initial rush of people that have been divided apart from their family for the last 4 years. And I think it's all coming to fruition to this point this month right now, and that's why we're seeing this. Okay, so I started thinking about this, I started thinking about Social Security. I started to think about what these workers could bring to the table. And then when I pushed those bad faith arguments aside and I started to think using my mind, open-minded, and not getting caught up in, even somebody like me can get sidetracked with stereotypes. Like I said in the last video, when I started mentioning about unscrupulous people south of the border, that was wrong. I was focusing on the wrong thing. I started thinking about this. What if Mexico, Guatemala, the Honduras, all those places, what if they're giving up one of their most vital natural resources? These are young people, healthy young people with many years of good work in them. This is a young, healthy workforce that's coming into America. And right now, what do we need right now? As we look at Social Security, I started looking at the numbers, and then I decided I just wanted to get a general feel for the numbers. And then I was going to make this video. And if I want to get more into the statistics, I'll do that with the next video. But this is the idea. We know for a fact that the baby boomer generation is large. The population has moved and moved the most amount of people has moved into retirement now. And we don't have replacement workers. We don't have a young workforce to feed the Social Security system, to pay the taxes. I started thinking about this, and I looked at those kids at the border. Those in the last video I mentioned, they were young men, 16, 17 years old. And I was looking at them through the wrong eyes. Like I said, I make mistakes like anybody else, stereotyping or getting caught in these bad faith arguments. And when I looked at those kids, I started thinking, these are new businesses. These are taxpayers, 17, 18 years old. They have their whole life ahead of them. They're healthy. If you look at it from that way, that these other countries are losing, we are getting one of the best natural resources. These kids have 50, 60 years of good labor in them. Good, not labor, but good work in them. Getting into our system, paying taxes, paying Social Security, that's what we need right now. As the baby boomers age out, I was reading that in 2010, we had 2.8 younger people working for every Social Security beneficiary. In 2035, it's going to go down to 2.2 or 2.3, and this is what's going to cause, we've all heard about the problem with Social Security. So they were talking about possible solutions, and some of those solutions were cutting back people's benefits and retirement later. But what if we just had an influx of young workers? And that's what this is right here, right? If you look at it from that point of view, it could be a solution to one of our biggest problems. We bring them in, get them into our system where they're paying taxes. And that's another thing too. The more people that pay taxes, the less taxes we all have to pay. We get them in here, like I said, and these are young 20-year-old kids. 20 to 18, 19, 20 years old. Another thing that I started thinking is there's a housing shortage right now. Here in Connecticut, it's unbelievable. The price of houses is going through the roof, so to speak. There's not one, I haven't seen one for sale sign, one for rent signs I haven't seen in months. There's definitely a housing shortage, and the price of homes are going through the roof. Now, so obviously, we could use labor, carpenters. What if we had programs training these kids, these young people, these people seeking asylum, for what we need, bringing something to the table, something to help us to build our country, to give to our country. And I started thinking about that, and that's what's happened all throughout history with the Italians, the Irish, the Chinese. They've all brought something. They all had a hard time initially, because people are people, But then in the end, they ended up contributing more than we could ever imagine to our society, to America. We have to look at, if you look at it through a positive view, not just at the short term, as a Russia kids to the border. What are we going to do? Oh my God. This could happen. That could happen. You look at the long term and what this could provide for us. It's almost as if Mexico and the Honduras and where all these people and these kids are coming from are giving up. They're losing a natural resource and we're gaining it. We could use that, like I said, to train these kids to get into the construction, carpentry fields. That's one of the fields we need now. Tech, whatever, nursing. We could use this to our advantage to build it into America. This was the whole idea to begin with, and that's what made this country great. You know, and I got sidetracked when I wanted to make this video earlier today and yesterday. I just got all sidetracked with what are we gonna do? What if they bring COVID here? You know, and I was just looking. I was trying to put out these little fires of people presenting these little issues, and yeah, there's little issues, but they can be taken care of. But you look at the bigger picture of how to use this situation to our advantage to build America. And we have a lot to benefit from this situation. Shoring up our Social Security system, more people, a healthier tax system, and a healthier housing system, training a whole workforce for what we're lacking right now. Just some ideas. You got to think, you know, I even have to remind myself from time to time to think positively and not get caught up in these bad faith arguments. Thank you, Beau of the Fifth Column. All right, I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a good Wednesday.